Today I'm going to do a list for you of hard-hitting, really fantastic World War II historical fiction books that are not necessarily based on one person in particular, but are loosely based on incredible activities that were happening at the time. The first is Dinah Jeffries' book, Daughters of War. I've spoken about this one before. It's a beautiful story about three sisters in occupied France and the choices that they make during the war. The Resistance Painter by Kath Jonathan about Polish resistance workers. Next is Martha Hall Kelly's book, The Golden Doves, about two best friends in Paris who join the resistance. Kelly Rimmer's book, The Things We Cannot Say, a really moving story about Polish families under occupation. The Garden of Lost Secrets by Kelly Bowen. This is a dual timeline story between now and during the war, tracing the roots of a particular resistance fighter. Someday I'll Find You by C.C. Humphreys, a really interesting story about a Canadian pilot and a Norwegian spy who end up falling in love and how they kind of find their way. Then we have The Secret History of Audrey James by Heather Marshall, another dual timeline between contemporary and the war about resistance networks in Berlin. Then we have The Dutch Orphan by Ellen Keith about resistance activities in the Netherlands and protecting refugee children. We also have The Paris Deception by Bryn Turnbull about protecting precious artwork at the Jeu de Paume in Paris from the Nazi regime. Madeline Martin's book, The Keeper of Hidden Books, about Polish resistance fighters. Angels of the Resistance by Noelle Salazar about two sisters in the Netherlands who join the resistance. Then we have The Prisoner's Wife by Maggie Brooks. This is a really interesting story about a husband and wife who are captured and sent to the same prisoner of war camp because the wife is dressed as a man at the time, and so they end up being in the camp together. And the list would not be complete without, of course, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, my favorite book of all time. A really moving story about two sisters in occupied France, their own unique acts of resistance, and how those choices affect their families and each other. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 2. I'll share some repeat authors with you as well.